Hello again, everyone.
Hello.
We have Johnathan here with us.
Excellent, excellent. I'm very glad to be here. It was kind of crazy up on the stage, and yeah, a lot of people, a lot of people.
Well, you did a good job. I think we were all impressed you didn't die. We were kind of hoping that you would.
Right.
But at least maybe I can be the fall guy
Blizzard
and show
got
people
Rick.
truly how difficult the content is as it mercilessly defeats me.
I just want to mention I didn't have any kind of invulnerability cheat there. I was just, I was just going for it. I could have died and it would have just happened. I would have had to respawn.
Have the forensics team go through the footage.
Yeah. I think actually I think they might have because I was dying a lot when I was testing in werewolf form. So I think they might have added a little bit of extra damage reduction, more than what it's supposed to have to werewolf form, just to just as a slight concession to realism there.
All right.
But yeah.
So I'll be checking out the game here.
Yeah.
Obviously, I've never done any kind of this content, so you'll have to walk me through.
100%. Yeah.
I'm the noob in this case.
Yeah, well, I mean that's good, right? I mean, I'm very interested to see what you think, seeing your actual first time playing the game. I'm really keen. We haven't had anyone outside of our office playing it at all. And we've been wanting to show people this stuff for such a long time now. It's just it's really exciting.
Okay, and we have Ziggy and Tark. You guys can comment.
I think I don't even have a mic.
Oh.
I have a mic, I think. You don't, Ziggy.
No.
You can just get very close to my face, and we'll just do everything.
That's very
Just
intimate,
if you can
thank
comment in oohs and ahs,
I will,
preferably.
Big smiles.
Yes.
But right off the bat, I guess, just before we even start here, do you have any questions about what we announced in terms of structure or anything like that? Because I noticed you guys were talking on stream a second ago.
Too many questions.
Okay, too many questions. So feel free to ask me anything here.
So maybe you can settle a little bit of the debate, let's say, that we had. So how purposeful is it that there are multiple campaign sets of acts, for example?
So
would you just... Do you have the original 10 acts as a novelty, or is there a purpose to do them? Is there maybe some variation because your hardcore character died and you don't want to do the same run through? That's kind of what I was trying to finish my thoughts at the end there. So or maybe is one act tailored towards maybe a ranged character better than a melee character?
So the main reason we wanted to keep them is just there's so much really good content there, and we didn't want to throw that away. It's like we've worked really hard on this stuff. But the other thing as well is that splitting communities when it comes to online games, when I look at all of the various different online games that that have been popular, like live games, and then for example, you sort of go from EverQuest 1 to EverQuest 2. EverQuest 2 is less popular than EverQuest 1 was, and there's Lineage 1 and 2 as well. There's lots of, I would say, history is littered with games that were less popular, with sequels that were less popular than the original. So we just thought that it was not a good idea to split the community up. And the way we wanted to do that is we wanted to sort of assure people that everything was going to be maintained with PoE 1. So the way we do that is we make sure that both of them are in the same game client. They're both always going to be sort of available. If there's anyone out there who prefers the PoE 1 campaign to PoE 2, which
the new skill system is going to be insane.
It's way more awesome. But if there was, I don't want to feel like they're not supported. I want them to feel like, hey, everything's there. And also it's a bit of a statement as well in terms of all your microtransactions come across and all that sort of stuff. It's one living game. It just has 2 campaigns in it. And it's actually really good as well. The skill system of the PoE 2 skills, that will be across both campaigns. But the actual character classes, you'll be the character models. We've re-rigged the old character models to the to the new rigs, so that you get all the new animations, but it's still the old characters. And so
what I could tell is you would still actually craft maybe the item itself.
The old characters are different people than the new character classes are, and so for that reason, that's why they have different ascendancy classes. But the basic plan here is that, and this is like a hint, when there are new people, they come with new ascendancy classes, and that's something that's sort of how we see it, if you know what I mean.
Kind of what it looked like is they won't have the sockets, but everything had a set of sockets that
maybe you guys
put
didn't
in.
Quite get is the fact that both of these 2 campaigns, they join in the same end game. You can play in a
I figured.
You can play in the same party with people from who went through on the different campaign.
But you're still gonna have to craft either a report or or you're gonna have to craft the gem or the armor, one or the other.
The 19 classes from the old campaign have to be balanced against the 19 classes of the new campaign as well.
So if I wanted to make a Pathfinder, I would have to play the old campaign.
So that's the thing. Once you have played once you've ascended in a campaign, that Ascendancy class becomes available in your pool. On the account, and at that point you can play that Ascendancy class on any Ranger, for example, that you play.
So there's like the old Ranger Ascendancy.
Yes, exactly. Yes, exactly.
Cool.
And you unlock them by playing the old campaign. So if you're a completely new player, there is still an advantage to playing the old campaign through once, well, I guess per character class, to just sort of get those Ascendancy, or at least up to the point where you ascend. And
30 something.
Yeah, something like that.
Wait, you can hear me, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, good, all right. So when you said new Ascendancies, I thought there was going to be just like reworked of the old.
No,
like
they're new, and they're living in addition to the existing. So there are going to be
Holy
38
shit.
Ascendancy classes.
What the fuck? Dante, you back yet, dude?
Part of XL2.
You realize that Scion is even harder to balance now.
Yeah. Oh, it's ridiculous. Like, like we certainly had some cringe moments when we were first proposing this concept, but we got on board. And honestly, it's fine. And it's honestly, like, the other thing as well is we're really trying, and I'm spoiling content.
Did you
now
say
from,
38
like,
new Ascendancies?
Yeah. we're really trying to make sure that the stuff we're doing in the new Ascendancy classes is stuff we couldn't do before, so that it doesn't trample too much on what we were doing in the old Ascendancy classes. We want them to feel actually
38 total.
And unique.
What is something that you couldn't do before? That's a
sense.
very interesting thing to say.
So it's a lot of stuff to do with the way the skill system works now, and once again in the deep dives I'll be covering a little bit more about that, because we had like the lightest treatment possible. We kind of just threw out there, we are changing the skill system a lot, and we kind of said a few of the advantages, but we didn't really talk too much about it.
Yeah, 19.
So I'm going to be covering quite a lot of like the history of our skill system.
So they're adding another
and stuff like that in the deep dive. So yeah, it's actually quite a technical thing.
So they're adding another 19 Ascendancies in Path of Exile 2.
Thinking all our design goals, all that kind of stuff. So hopefully you'll be able to see that and have a look.
Hopefully. Should we get started?
Let's get started. Okay, so can we pop over to the screen there, and you can see the new intro where we have a nice, pleasant hanging scene going on there.
Just for anyone at home, me and Ziggy don't have a special monitor, so we're enjoying this side-eyed laptop view.
To really stretch your necks.
Right. Maybe they can put it on the foldback monitor in front of us. I'm not sure.
That's good. It looks good. It looks good from here.
Yeah. Yes.
You're welcome.
Now, so we can play Marauder, Ranger, or Witch.
Yes, we only put the three primaries in there for now.
Okay.
We've got more animation work to do.
Kripp wants to pick.
Really stretch your necks. There we go. A character with that name already exists.
Seriously?
I mean, I'm hearing them like.
Who's been playing?
Yeah. Well, it's on the show floor, right? Like it's on the same servers as the show floor, so Yeah. Okay.
All right, we're going Marauder.
You killed the other ones. The monster.
Well, he highlighted the Ranger, and in the trailer, the Witch lives. So I have to play for fairness' sake for the audience. Just kidding. I just want to pick Marauder.
Can you hear audio, by the way?
I cannot hear much audio.
Okay, right. Then we can get some fallback on the audio.
Oh, I can hear a little bit now.
Okay, cool.
All right, we're going Marauder. So we got Heavy Strike. Oh man, I'm not used to the normal
Yes, I know.
keybinds.
And so this is the thing, there's so much muscle memory in putting skill gems in your items that, like, around the office, like, every time I, always pick up a gem and I move it up to my inventory, and then I'm like, oh, yeah, then left to the skill screen.
There's no options.
No, we turned it off for the demo.
Okay, well, we'll try to make the best of it here. So we have auto attack and heavy strike, and just I can see the Marauder looks a lot different. He looks more human, I would say.
I mean, the character model is one of the first things that we ever worked on in Path of Exile, like in 2006, right? So, like, really it was a long time coming, giving updates to those character classes.
Now, I know for optimal efficiency, I should be killing none of these, I believe.
Okay, so I don't have anything else up right now, so they've got a loop of their own stream going right now.
Also, just out of interest, we saw a lot of new armor. Will that mean that
so all of the base types all being refreshed from PoE 2? That was it's a mammoth task. And the other thing as well, I also just want you to appreciate, by the way,
just check to
this
see
is a
if
really mammoth task. Is re-rigging all the microtransactions.
Here,
to the
this
new
stops all the
classes.
audio.
It's going to take a really long time.
Yeah, okay.
So
they're looping their own audio.
Riggers to get that mammoth task out of the way. Yeah, it's a big one.
So Heavy Strike is an AoE now, like a really small AoE?
Yeah, it's actually like that on prod right now, by the way.
Oh.
yeah. Yeah. Okay. But I think that...
Here, while they're doing that,
I'll move
this over to here.
That's actually important, is that because we're doing new animations for all the character classes now, we were able to really think about, like, you know, like when you're swinging, like what the arc of the swing is, and then make sure that that's big enough. So like Heavy Strike has bigger AoE than it does on prod because of the fact that the swing arc is like much larger. And so when we were designing the character classes,
okay, so
really
it does have 3,
but
it can have 2 different sockets.
Because it was just like you do a melee attack and you just hit one guy.
You have 2 different sockets, but you can have 3. Okay, so 4.
Swing. It really changes.
If you have a 2-handed, you could have 4 different skills on it.
Things like make sure that all of the different classes have like normalized like speeds and like timings and like how they hit and all that kind of stuff. It was like quite a thing.
You feel like it's made a big difference to the feel of the game?
I think it's made quite a big difference to the feel of melee. Like I really like a lot more how we're feeling with all the animations and stuff now.
My question is, like on set rings, do they give you like an extra skill?
The skill gems work themselves. I actually don't even know how to bring up the
press
menu.
S.
S?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So
so this club, it has 3 sockets by default, and by default they're all red.
It's not the club. It's the
club.
Heavy Strike.
Heavy Strike
has well 2 support sockets in addition to itself, right? So basically, if you take that out, then the support gems come with it, and you can put it in another slot. So that means you can just like move stuff around like without having to like futz around with gems all the time.
What is the second slot? Do you just
so
get this many gem
you
slots?
your primary slots still come from your items.
Okay.
So you've got a club there that you're wearing. And every one-hand mace that you find will have exactly 2 red sockets. They can be changed later, like later on the game, but everything that drops will have exactly 2 red. And what that means is that you can always change out for another club, another one-hand mace at any time, and you'll be sure that your sockets will work. So it just removes all the frustration of having to like move everything around your sockets. Yeah, we just have the old passive screen there. We're not ready to announce what we're doing.
It's okay. I'm just going for some melee damage.
Yeah, just getting some melee damage. Okay. So here we have the Miller fight.
So I'll just tank everything and potion up, right?
Let's see if that works out for you.
I mean, that's always worked in the past.
Yeah,
so
yeah. Let's see how well that works.
We'll benchmark it.
Yeah.
Why is he gaining health?
Yeah, because he did his thing there. Let's see how that. Okay.
Okay, we're good so far. We're doing the right-click hold right now, and it's holding up, but I only have 1 potion charge left.
Right, with flasking, right? Okay.
Yes.
I can't see anything.
We're good. We're good.
Good.
So how exactly would something like 6 links work with the new system?
So basically, every time you find... Well, sorry, I should say... So 6 links effectively are now on the gems, right? So that means that like you're not finding a 6-link armor, you're finding like a 6-link fireball. So you actually have to find 6 links for all of the different primary skills that you get.
So are there non-6-link fireballs?
Absolutely,
Oh,
right? So
God.
basically, so the actual gems themselves will actually have a value now that they did not before. And you can also re-roll them with, different currency, just like you could before. But it's actually sort of on the skills. And that's like a pretty substantial change, but I actually think it makes a lot more sense overall. Like when you want to get a skill upgrade, you find a skill to do it with. So yeah, that changes things quite significantly.
So is there essentially like a gem cutting that adds sockets or changes those sockets?
Well, so the existing currency that used to work on items works
on the gems.
Works on skill gems now.
So it's still like fusing things up.
So it's not fusing because everything is implicitly linked.
Yeah.
But duelers is what you'd use to change the number of sockets.
The fusings are now useless.
That's very interesting.
Yeah.
What will we do with all our fuses, Johnathan?
That is an interesting question. There's going to be a migration, and it's going to be pretty hellish actually now that I think about it, because consider we have to like migrate everyone's gems away from being inside their armors into like a skill screen, and then we have to like preserve it. It works differently. The stuff you can do is like not exactly the same. So that's going to be a bit of an interesting migration, especially because there's 2 billion items in the Path of Exile database.
Oh my God.
And so yeah, it's going to be a bit of a, that's my responsibility as a tech director.
Maybe we can help you.
I'm sure we'll be fine. No pressure at all.
Yeah,
we can help you. We can ask everybody take your gems out of your gear, so they don't have to do it so much.
One thing I noticed is, so when I take out Heavy Strike and put it over Ground Slam, the support gem is stuck with the gem.
Yes, it is. That is actually a thing that is interesting. So when you take it out, the support gem pops out. But the reason for that is because when you get to end game, it's actually much more convenient for it to work that way. Because there was actually some discussion about that particular element. Like at low levels, it's slightly different than what you would expect. But the thing is because different
and you can
gems
see your DPS there with it too, right to the right of it.
The
There's a little arrow drop-down box thing there too.
But yeah.
I wonder if you can change between your DPS, average damage, stuff like that.
Ground Slam.
Yes.
In that same menu.
What's that?
That menu looks pretty cool.
while he works at that, so when it comes to the shape-shifting stuff that we saw, how many forms and stuff do we have to play with?
There is more than that one. There is an Ascendancy class that's related as well to some of the stuff. Yeah, the interesting thing about it is that, so effectively when you shapeshift, what's happening is that it's effectively replacing your weapon with with stats that come directly from the skill. So it's effectively a way to scale attacks like you would scale spells, because it scales with the spell instead of the so with the actual level of the spell. And so that actually means the build is quite different. Like your weapon has a different purpose.
So that explains our question about like what happens to your bow or your weapons you have equipped.
Exactly.
It's effectively being replaced with that. So,
exactly.
So I guess like the werewolf would have a weapon type of his hands.
Exactly. So it's claws for the werewolf.
Makes sense.
And then that's
makes sense. There you go, Darky.
So then basically. Oh, good, excellent. That's much better. That's much better. Okay. So yeah, basically it's claws for the werewolf. That way you can sort of scale it, and it's just quite a different way to build a character. That ranger, like I wanted to show off werewolf form, but that build was like kind of not really optimized for being a werewolf. But the thing I did want to show as well, which is a detail that matters to us, but maybe not so much to the people in the is that your bow stats are still used for the ranged attack totem that I was using. The shot. Sorry, that's not the.
Ooh, okay, that's really cool.
I call it shotgun totem, but I think it's called. I can't remember the actual proper name. But basically, so those stats are still used for that. Like your weapon still matters for some stuff, but the thing is, you can't cast spells while you're in werewolf form. So you have to be changing back and forth. So when you be casting curses,
Devourer,
or totems or whatever it is that you're casting while you're doing that, and then you change the werewolf form, do some attacks, then change back again. So it's supposed to be quite dynamic, and that's the reason why we want to make it so that like no matter what you're doing, you can just change straight into werewolf form and back again. Like middle of an attack, whatever, it all just kind of works.
So that'll what we were talking about, promoting shifting back and forth, because you might want to cast a spell every so often, and you can do it quite quickly from the looks of it.
Exactly. So you can do it. You can do it nearly instantly. I think there was like I think they actually added a cooldown to the skill in the demo. I think to the transform, just because there was some graphical glitches when you transform to and back at the same time.
Like double pressing.
Yeah, exactly. So it looked a bit funky. So I just had a small cooldown. We'll be fine for the demo. But yeah, we'll fix that before it comes out. It's supposed to be very, very quick. Like werewolf form, whatever. Just like werewolf form, cast the thing, do out. I should say the other way around. But anyway, yeah. So then. There's also some concern about, are people just going to use a travel skill? Because like you just transfer a werewolf form, you could run a bit faster. But yeah.
I mean, that's kind of cool. That's kind of cool.
It is actually. It is pretty awesome. Especially because you can't use not regular movement skills.
Looks good
while
too. Yeah, it does.
Trade-off. You have to think about.
Cool. So it's like
it's like a travel form in itself. Yeah, but it's quite fun.
I'm against the Devourer here. And it's one of these like lengthy multi-phase fights where you encounter the boss again and again throughout different parts of the instance. How do you feel these type of fights have worked out? I mean, I kind of like them, but I also kind of like just the straight up beat the boss type of situation. But I imagine scalability makes those a bit of a problem nowadays.
It can be difficult just because we want to have some sense of epicness in the fight. But at the same time, which the Devourer fight really is, by the way, with all this thing. But at the same time, like we know, obviously players are really unhappy about immunity phases and that kind of stuff.
You attack
a real tough balance to sort of get the difference, win one and win the other. But yeah, we try at low levels. I think it's a lot more acceptable because you're whoa, there you go. Haha, awesome.
Hey.
We got you. Yeah. So what you want to do is hide behind the segments of the Devourer that are like elsewhere in order to avoid the
elsewhere.
Yeah.
I didn't see any near there.
Oh, you didn't see any there?
No.
Okay.
Oh, these things? No.
So there should be segments around. Yeah, exactly. So you want to hide behind those. As he dives around, he sort of creates them.
I see.
Yeah.
So for you personally, Johnathan, like what was the bit that you were most excited for from the announcement?
That's what I was saying. Could you attack the segments at the same time? But
show people, for so long.
And it's just what they're for.
Honestly, super stressed for are people going to like this? Are people going to even get the concept? It's kind of unusual, the thing about we're patching a sequel into our game kind of thing. It's like kind of a slightly unusual thing. Yeah, well, people get it.
That doesn't look safe. Okay, I'm only safe for a second, I guess.
Right.
He's trying to get you killed again.
Right.
Well, Chris did say he wanted to kill Kripp, so he's doing a good start.
He's doing it, living up to his promise. It seemed like Chris
I feel like this will be quite a challenge going through the first time.
So we actually want to try and bring the difficulty back.
Okay.
Like, it's been a long time, I feel, since people have been really challenged, especially like in the early game. We want to actually make sure that people are.
Oh yeah, dude.
So yeah, I mean, we're sort of making a statement here. This is effectively the boss that replaces Hail Rake.
Make the game actually hard again.
Like, it's a bit of an upgrade in terms of complexity and difficulty there.
And hit points.
Yeah.
So how will this be reflected in the end game? Like, should we expect this difficulty curve to continue into the maps and the bosses?
So we are actually, in 3.9, we're actually increasing the difficulty of in-game quite significantly as well.
I'm going to die 100 times in the leveling process. Let's go.
But I think it'll be really
No more health.
Nope.
Do I have a TP? Okay, we're going to town.
Flee.
That was pretty close on that one. I think that AoE would have hit.
There should be little worms walking around. Whoa, shit. Okay.
Well,
nice.
If you catch that in melee, you're kind of done for.
Right.
Maybe with a leap slime or something that would work out a little bit better. So he does the thing, and then he breathes. But if he breathes near you like he did there, you don't really have much of a chance. I kind of wish I didn't make a melee character right now.
He's forgetting rule number 1. Don't get hit.
Yep.
I'm gonna start breathing, but I think we need to be like
so
in front of him for him to actually breathe.
That big breathe, as you call it, you have to get behind the one of the tail segments, or you're really gonna be screwed.
Okay, well we got some loot at least. Maybe I'll make my character amazing now. Here we go. It's a short sword. Oh, there's little worm things.
Yeah. That's your flash charges right there.
Okay.
Yeah.
When this launches, will there be a helpful Johnathan assisting every player through the first?
Only I could do that.
The first optional boss.
Yeah. It is optional. It's true.
Oh, okay.
Well, if it replaces Hellrake.
Yeah. It does.
oh my gosh, that replaces Hellrake. Hell yeah, dude.
How did you go about creating all this,
Oh
like,
my
this whole
gosh.
new campaign? Was it kind of like looking at what you've done before and trying to, like, you know, oh, here's the Hailrake fight, so we can make something like that? Or is it just completely new chance for you to do something different?
There was an element of that. Like the first area is definitely supposed to be evocative of nostalgia for the original PoE 1 campaign, but we kind of diverged fairly quickly after that. So I'm obviously not going to talk about subsequent acts and so on.
Yeah.
But yeah, we really actually, you saw the trailer, right?
Yeah.
So you know there were some interesting shots in that trailer from subsequent acts that hopefully you're excited to see.
It's I've spoken to Chris about this in the past before, but the idea of having the 10-act campaign we have now being like ending in you killing the actual gods.
Yeah, I know.
It's like
we needed to bring it back. We needed to bring things like down a level. You know, it's like so you know, like getting things. You know, just on a human scale again. You know.
So a lot more humble, back to basics.
Exactly. And so that's why you literally start with a hanging. You know,
whose idea was the hanging?
That was Eric's idea, and it was a very good idea. Very good idea, I may say.
Eric is dark.
Yes, he definitely is. He definitely is. Yeah. So I was like, when I heard this idea, I'm like, yes, this is what we're doing. And the other thing as well is that I think the current character selection screen is actually like I don't actually like it as much as I liked the original ship scene. Like, I think the ship scene just had this more sort of evocative feel of like what the game was about, and I think we're trying to bring that back with PoE 2. Like really get that feel. Like right from the very beginning, you're like, I understand it's like a story where it's a dark story with like characters that are exiles, right?
That's really interesting because you effectively make something new. You go really epic, and you're like, let's make it epic, but then you realize, oh, it was kind of cool when we were just washing up on the ship. And
it was. So
I was actually having that exact conversation with Nick yesterday at the dinner because I was sat opposite him and I was like, we talked specifically about the screen. He was like, yeah, we preferred the old one.
Right. Yeah, it's unfortunate, but that's how these things go. We've learned.
And now the character selection screen is going to make people cringe every time they select the good type in their name. They're like, enter.
Well, the thing that I really wanted, actually, I remember saying at the time, is like, I want, like, when you click the button, to feel like I did this. Like, I caused this hang. It's like, I click, it's like, oh,
That's what it looks
really
like.
Get that.
The one that lives.
Right, exactly.
That's brutal.
So let's see how far you can get in this little playthrough here. I guess you don't have any more red sockets on your character?
I guess I have to get different type of items, so I would have to chrome these, I suppose.
Yeah. So at the start, you'll probably want to be wearing some like a strength armor. I don't know if you've got one there. Is that one there?
I have this thing, but...
Okay.
So do you chrome the supports of the gym? Is that how that works?
Kind of weak.
Cool.
I guess you chrome the armor, and then you might chrome the supports of the gym?
Yeah,
or maybe do you have to chrome the armor to get the...
You can kind of tell the differences. I'm really blown away by this.
Oh. Oh no.
The grittiness while making it a lot more modern.
Well, a lot of it is down to our new, like, a lot of engine tech that we've been working on for quite a long time. So, I mean, it's interesting actually because we've, like, a lot of the stuff is patched in to the current shipping game, and yet none of it is really being used because we didn't have the assets for it. So, like, you know, for example, like this PBR rendering pipeline, physically based rendering as it's called, is like basically like the standard for modern games. And we kind of had to like find a way to sort of patch it in so it can sort of live with all of our old text for the PoE1 campaign at the same time as having new stuff as well. And it looks really a lot better. So like 3D scans and stuff like that. So like, you know, we hired a company to go around Europe to like medieval churches and like scan statues and stuff like that. You know, these are things that we've done. So yeah, there's just a lot of stuff coming along.
You didn't use that as an excuse to get out there yourself?
No, no, unfortunately. Unfortunately not.
Church
yeah, exactly.
Research.
Yeah.
Research.
I'd love it. That'd be good company expense there. Yeah. So the next area after this one is actually probably my favorite in the campaign.
That looks kind of like the Devourer.
Well, I think it's the one by the waypoint, but I just went around.
You know, it's funny
because
like
going through there.
The demo is limited. Like you're not limited right now, but the demo for the show floor is limited to 45 minutes.
Oh, I see.
And we had QA saying, "What are people going to do for the other 15 minutes?" And I'm like, you gotta be kidding me, man! Like, there's no way they can get through an entire act I've never seen before in that amount of time.
I mean, no, I guess I'm mistaken. That's the waypoint's by the dungeon.
The waypoint's by the dungeon, so that's how you come back once you town portal back up and go down the waypoint.
No, so I guess I haven't found the next area yet.
Yeah, you haven't.
While Kripp works that out, so something that you and you and Chris were stressing on stage is how like the world has this generation now. Like,
oh yes, that's what I thought. So basically, now rather than just generating within an area, the actual world screen, the world panel, is now randomly generated. So all the areas have a different layout on the world screen as well.
Oh wow!
And the reason we did that is we're actually really being held back by the fact that, like, so you know, if you look at something like the mud flats, your entrance is always on the left, and the exit is always on the right, and the the exit to the what do you call it? The dark area.
Fetid pool.
Fetid pool. That's the one. Sorry. The entrance of the fetid pool is always kind of on the top, right? So now we can randomly generate like the whole the layout on the world panel as well, and so that means that we can
that
really
is
have
amazing.
proper randomness. Like all those entrances move to different places.
Oh no.
So yeah, it's going to be harder for the speedruns.
I'm going to get so lost.
Yeah. And that's actually a really interesting feature. It actually made a huge difference. And when you start thinking about it that way, there's all sorts of stuff you start thinking about. Like for example, there's like a river that flows through town. So you have to be thinking like, okay, so if you're going north, if the exit from town, which is because there's 3 different exits to town, if you're going north at the exit, then that means you have to consider that there's a river on the left, like as you come out. But if you go to the right of town to go out that way, then there's no river and that kind of stuff. So we have to start thinking on that level with like a little bit of stuff in our generation. It starts to get a little bit tricky to work all that stuff out.
How lost do you want me to get? Are you going to give me something to work with here?
Well, I mean, you can still look at the world panel, so you can still see, you know, the question marks that appear for the next area.
So
you
the
can kind of see. Well, yeah, exactly. So if you look at it, you can see which direction to sort of vaguely go.
Okay.
Yeah, I love the forest area. Especially the other thing as well you can see here is monsters that are actually fast.
Yes, I was about to say that actually.
Yeah,
those are pretty quick for
the werewolves, like the
for white mobs.
Yeah, exactly. That's something that's like a real improvement to what we've been doing.
That's true. We're nearly always going to outrun monsters.
Right, exactly. But you know, once again, it's an element of making it hard.
Yes, please. There's stuff
like
that
fast monsters, you can't outrun it. You have to kill that thing.
You can't outrun.
If it
Thank you.
Rare, it's kind of like nasty.
Well, not just that, it kind of slows the game down, even though they're faster, because with slower mobs, you just pull them up and then just kill them all at once. But if they're like on top of you, you can't really set that up as easily.
Well, we did have this problem before where, I mean, I guess some people maybe don't consider it a problem, where it's like you could just kind of always run. Like there was nothing in the game that would ever stop you.
Yeah, pretty much.
And
that
that's
is
something
a problem.
that I think like is good to actually try and address, because it actually, like, I think it adds a little bit more skill during the regular playthrough. So very shortly you should be coming to the tree that's behind us here in the venue.
Oh, okay. It felt so familiar. I was somewhat surprised to hear that it's not part of the game yet. It felt like it blends right in.
Right. Well, you know, it's just our art style, I guess.
Would you like to
tell us who the
fellow with the blue eyes is?
I would not actually. For now,
sure?
for now, he. I'm trying to think because I know who he is, and so you know, I'm struggling to think of what do we call him before the reveal, but you know, whatever.
Oh, I got him. He's the hooded one.
Right. Yes. There we go. The hooded one.
Yes, there's a full life-size statue upstairs.
Yes. That's I was really happy when I saw what they'd done there. It's
very cool.
Yeah,
there's
really
the
cool.
tree.
We can zoom in for a close-up of the hooded one in game here.
It was quite fun.
Yeah. Oh, come on. We may have to reopen this. Oh, wait, did it go? Did it break? Oh, come on.
Gears, beams, and bench press, all right?
With Floor Bamashar.
This is a roller coaster we live in.
Come for the fouls.
Oh, I just saw someone save back. Fog. Cool stuff happened.
Escape. Y'all need Floor Bamashar. Catch up on demand.
Like with scaling damage so high, you just stun everything with every hit.
Right. There is actually a different system for that.
Here we go.
I'm not entirely sure, actually. Okay, I'm not sure what's going in 3.9 and what's going in 4.0. So yeah, I don't know whether I should. No, I think you should tell us. Right. Sorry. I think I know it's not like 100% like correct yet. So you know, for example, I don't know if anyone's talked to you guys so far, or if we did it yet, because there's this whole we're changing the way the ailment resistance works to change the way that bosses resist.
You level up animation.
Ailments a lot. I'm pretty sure it's in 3.9. No, wait. No, I don't think it's even in 3.9 drive. So at some point, someone will probably tell the players about the fact that we changed the way ailment resistance works on all the monsters, because there was like a problem with bosses where it was like we had way too many bosses that were like, you just cannot freeze this, you just can't do this, you can't do that, right? So that was we had to do for design reasons because the numbers we were using just didn't like make it like we didn't have the control we needed, and that's been something that we addressed quite significantly. I believe 3.9. I think stun might be bundled up in that stuff as well. So yeah.
You are it seems like some of this stuff is going to make the game a bit more accessible for new players joining and checking out the game. But at the same time, it looks like it's getting a lot harder.
Well, this is the thing. So we kind of had this goal of like, okay, I want to make the game easier to play, easier to understand, and way more deep. And it's like these design goals seem conflicting somehow, but yet we sort of have to do it somehow. And that was the needle we were trying to thread with the skill system. I sort of talk a lot about how we design it and so on in the deep dive, or I will do rather. So yeah, that's kind of what we're doing, and I think we've actually achieved it. I'm actually really happy with how the skill system stuff turned out. Like once you get a chance to
they need to keep the depth for sure,
you guys will agree.
Or increase the depth.
We're really worried, right?
But I want to get my teeth kicked in by mobs.
I think our segment's about to end here, and I just made it to the red veil. So maybe just a few final thoughts on maybe this zone, perhaps, because we'll probably see a little bit of it on the demo floor.
Yeah, you should definitely click on one of the glowing pillars that's around here, and hopefully survive it. Yeah.
He's trying to get you killed.
Yeah.
Do it.
Okay. Fine.
All right.
Okay, those are plants, but they almost the way they kind of looked for a second.
I think we've got the whole
probably won't.
I'm not sure.
I think we're getting booted.
Yeah, we're getting booted.
Johnathan, thank you very much for joining us and
There's some
amazing
grasshopper
keynote.
stuff.
Like blew my mind,
excellent,
my whole body.
Excellent. Thank you very much for being here, guys.
Thank you for giving us the opportunity.
Yeah, no worries. All right.
Oh, here we go. Talking with no sound.
Which is probably good for some reasons, bad for others. We don't get any crazy insight. I was just shopping here a little bit and realized I don't have enough strength. Man, when does that ever happen? I'll just get through the game mode. So far, the main challenge that I've had is the fact that you can't actually change the keybinds in this. Oh my god. I have no attack. I just put on a sword. Okay. Well, let's just auto-attack these guys down. Perfect. Sure. I should probably go to town, but I think I used up my last portal, and I don't know if I can, like, escape. So this is the thing that was supposed to be bad, and probably is because I have no attack. Okay. Awesome. Wait, did I sell my last item or not? No, it's still in my inventory, so I can do that. Jeez. Okay. Yeah, it's crazy when you play in the comfort of your own home on your computer. It's you get used to a very different setup, and it can be quite challenging to have to work it out, play with completely different controls. It's like playing. It's worse than playing a new game because in a new game, you just kind of get used to the controls as it is. It's just whenever anything happens, I'm used to hitting a certain button, and that button doesn't work. And also, in general, they did make this this demo quite a bit harder. The monsters do hit pretty hard. The Hellrake replacement was certainly a challenge, I would say. All right. So this is the goal here. I don't know what to do with Steel Skin. Where is this going in? I'm not sure.
To see some of the top layers.
I guess because it's a two-hander. It has 4 possible skills in it. Alright. So I'm just going to ground slam it up. I checked the vendor for gems, and there isn't much there outside of some slamming or molten strike, and I think I'd rather play old school and get the ground slam going. I can try to speed through a little bit more. There is a quest here, seemingly up this path. And another on the other side. I wonder if they are just felling axe 10 to 23. I wonder if there are those pillars that just spawn a bunch of dudes. These flower monsters, they all bundle up in one area. It's kind of cool, but I think they spawn based on proximity, which supposedly is a way to balance out range versus melee. Look how narrow that is. Alright. Let's roll it. Oh my god. We're OP, boys. Can we ground slam with this thing? Perfect.
Huh. Pretty cool.
Yeah, so I guess this kind of replaces the mud flats with the different roas. You have to pick up their eggs. You have to click on the pillars. It seems like there's probably 3 of them. I mean, I have 2 in my inventory. We're gonna run up and get the 3rd here. It's pretty interesting. There's a lot of parallels, like, you know, one boss is on this stage in an optional zone. This is probably going to be get 3 items. Oh. Okay, that hurts. Okay, that's a massive bleed. I need to stop moving, but I have to, yeah. Okay. Oh, this is all the way here? I think I rather would have went to town and picked up some potions. There's a lot more like surprise boss fights, and the bosses don't seem very kind to standing in front of them.
Yep.
Oh my god, that's a long
We need more
back.
of that.
I'm not so sure I could do it, actually. Okay, perfect. Portal scroll. Let's stock up. Yeah, I just need a bunch more health potions that actually regenerate more health than normal.
How's the clearing?
And I'm kind of curious what there is in terms of items. Sure, 15 life.
Till next time.
I went a bit on the damage end, but that didn't seem to help too much because it seems that the bosses have tremendous hit points. You can't just kill them and move on to the next so easily. Fine. And these are 70, those are 150, okay. I don't know if 1 extra flask is
Ooh,
really
that music of that area sounds kind of cool.
No, that's a bit weak. There, we're gonna stock up. Oh, those all have stats. Okay, fine. There. I can handle it now. Let's go. Probably. Anyway. So we're gonna go and take care of this Rust King. This is a pretty funny loot filter. I'm used to everything that dropping having any kind of animation being particularly good. Not so sure about that one. Alright. Defeat the Rust King to obtain the final rune of power. So it is like the 3 rune thing. So the Rust King is probably the replacement for the giant infested Roa that you normally don't have to kill, but here we're gonna have to kill it.
Yeah, but you have to kill. That was awesome.
Those are so fast. Okay. Oh, I can see the little spikes on his belt there. There's gonna be quite a learning experience on these bosses, I'll say that. That was a bad hit. Got a bow. Don't think I'll use that.
Area cleans up. That's cool. That's really cool.
So we gotta return to town, but I'm not gonna really do the escape trick here. Wait, what's that? Oh, it requires level 8. Now, if this is gonna be like Mudflats, it shouldn't. It should have just an area where we walk to. So let's walk around and try to find where that is. Based on the color of those shots, it would seem like this is chaos damage.
Really cool.
Okay. No, I guess we actually have to go to town. Okay, we're gonna hit up the bottom here just in case. It's a beautiful zone though. Goes against everything I believe in, right? It's all about the HP nodes. It certainly made this content quite challenging though. But with the people on the floor having only 45 minutes, this is probably how they're going to have to play it. No, I guess we actually had to go to town. I don't have any TP scrolls. I think it probably might reset the demo if I exit back and forth, because they probably have some kind of reset function. So I think we're going to have to take the long way back here.
Huh.
Life regen. Okay. We can do an FPS version. Mike Head does look like quite the trooper right now. Oh, did this zone reset? Oh no. Okay. I'm out, dude. Let's go. I'm kind of curious where the next point in the campaign is going to be.
If you find a punk out there, do bring it back.
Included one in the old forest. Okay, so we just have to go back there.
Tired of the slaughter yet? Go make a legend. Or two.
Actually, I'm probably not going to get much for upgrades. Alright. Old Forest. This is the werewolf area. It is level 5, so I suppose I was relatively inefficient. The hooded one. The hooded one is actually, I think, on the south side of this, if I remember correctly. We'll get to challenge the fully randomized map thing. Oh no, I think... Is it? No, it's not this. Oh yeah, it's completely different. We got wrecked. Oh, maybe it's always at the waypoint then. Oh, it seems like it is.
Oh, here we go. Got a hooded one.
Thank you, Mortal, for releasing me. I promised to aid you in fighting corruption, and so I shall.
Okay, well, we're not waiting for all of it. We gotta go beat up stuff. Let's go.
The hooded one's Malachi.
The Grim Tangle.
Or at least the voice actor might be the Malachi voice actor.
Seems really scary. I think they showed off some of these monsters. Was it maybe in the play demo in the presentation? I'm not entirely sure. I'm actually over-leveled for the zone. But yeah, I imagine most people that have come to Exilecon are quite veteran PoE players. They expect a challenge. Keep getting bows. No, no more bows.
More bows.
This zone is quite difficult to navigate through just by looking at the mini-map, but it seems to make quite a bit of sense when you're looking at the actual graphics. Okay. it's next level that we get some good damage off the skill tree.
Hey.
Oh, these are just champions. Now I have to go to the next zone for the next quest. So let's just try to get through it. Spore ground. Oh, get ready for that as a map mod. It's kind of like an ensnare with a damage over time.
Yeah, that sounds just like a map mod.
Can you help me, stranger?
Oh, okay.
Look for the crypt first.
I kind of have a bit of a recollection on what happens here.
Go make a legend.
Fine. Nah, forget it. I want that damage percent.
Come back soon.
Okay. So I think, I don't know if it's going to happen right now, but I think Ziggy and Tark are going to talk about the gameplay for the next little while here. I don't know if I'll get to play too much more here, or maybe I'll check out the demo later. I think they're doing a different part though. Let's get leaps.
It seems shadows.
Oh wait, is that new?
Okay, let's get Leap Slam in there.
Oh, he's had his camera since he's been doing it. Whoops.
Okay. You got me killed, bro. I'm looking at signs here. They're giving me instructions with the signs. Okay. Hold on. What was that, even steel skin? Okay. I'm used to having that in a cast on damage taken. Okay, these things actually just do a crazy amount of damage. These Undertakers, holy crap.
But they're using Soul Rend.
They kind of have a guided missile, but it's not entirely guided.
Yo, Kripp hasn't been playing this.
Who's that dude? He's chilling.
That way lies the necropolis. But we must find my wife first.
What? Oh. The entrance to the crypt. Kinda curious how much damage those dudes that drop the pillar actually do. Let's see if I can isolate one. And give you guys one more for the fail reel. Okay. Not that much. They seem very fragile. They seem to fall over right away when I hit them.
Hey, just play. I mean, just the whole thing with the sockets and stuff and how they've changed that. Like, this changes racing, just leveling entirely. Like, now you just put on your best gear. That is crazy.
A lot of chests. Typically, I'm not quite bothered to click on them. I guess I probably shouldn't do that.
Did this camera get removed? It's just somebody changing things around.
Okay.
I could probably trim off a little bit more if I'm sitting like this. There we go.
Sure. Fire damage multiplier, 13 to 26. Interesting. That's a fast one. Eden for all of these though. Alright, now it's the big boy.
She was so lonely and hungry down there. Would you be so kind as to search for my two sons as well? They went to the necropolis. There! In there! The necropolis! The tomb and the mausoleum! My boys! I think I can hear them shouting for help!
Okay. Why does that have such a high range? Okay. Two-handed axe. Studded maul. $5 to 30. We got movement speed boots. We're winning this race now. I should have gone for the life.
With my dog. Sorry, that loud.
Home lies in that direction. A faded memory of sunnier time.
Yeah. I think I'm not done with the zone. You have to search for his sons. Yeah, we're not done with the zone. The waypoints at the start, which might make coming back a little inconvenient. Let's go to town real quick. We got an Alk Orb. Gotta use this OP item immediately.
How goes the fight?
I think I was impressed with any of those, so...
See you.
This dude has the weapons.
Go well.
Iron Hammer. One-handers. Oh, wow. That's a really fast one. 12 to 43, 145.
Hmm.
I want a fast ground slam. With ground slam, I kind of want like slow, heavy, powerful hits. I should consider just waiting another level worth of items then. It's cool to re-explore and see all the different new items though.
If you find a pond out,
yes it is.
do bring it back.
I guess we'll wait a little bit. Nothing's necessary anyway. Search for the Suns in the tomb and mausoleum. Search for the village past the hunting grounds. Search for the manor in the village. Okay. Never been great with quests. Probably have to actually read them and stuff. Oh, we got a shrine. Uh-oh.
Scary shrine.
Bladed war staff. I got currency to spend. Where's my weapon upgrades? Alright, looks like Ziggy's gonna join me here. Hey Ziggy, how you doing?
Hey Kripp, how's it going, mate?
It's not going too bad.
Oh, it looks pretty spicy. You're dying there.
No, I'm not dying. It was nothing.
That's a perfect intro. They're like, we'll send you in a quiet spot so we don't get you Kripp killed, but I'm like, no, send me on now.
Yeah, the dudes are doing pretty crazy damage, and I kind of went with the route of getting all the damage nodes. It's common novice mistake in
They're
this
going
game.
old school, dude. You got to kind of like play it from the old school approach. That's your wheelhouse. You got to get that 280, 300 life.
I've never been good with quests, you know. I always go like off memory. I hate like reading quests and stuff just as a personal preference, you know.
Aww. It's all new content. Oh, no. Disappointing.
Well, I like doing the quests. I just, you know, I like my handheld, which is why you're here, Ziggy. Tell me, where should I go?
You need some help reading, Kripp?
Yes, I do.
Okay, all right. Well, what are you up to right now? What are you trying to do?
So I got sent on a mission to do a whole bunch of stuff. I'm supposed to help some dude near the graveyard get his like get like his find his sons, find his wife or something like that. We got his wife. We're still looking for the sons, and I'm not sure if this quest has much to do with it. Hold on, let me see if I did pass it. Yeah, so the necropolis is kind of like a crossroads, and I guess I should have maybe completed that content first. Fine,
well,
let's go back.
Do you think this has the new world generation? Because I talked about how it should match the direction where you're supposed to be going in each zone now, the world map. So presumably you kind of need to go up to the top right.
You search for Lachlan's sons in the tomb and mausoleum. Search for the village past the hunting grounds. That's what I was doing earlier.
Logic was super effective.
This zone is pretty cool. It has units that are like really slow. They're the ones that drop the pillar. They actually hit really hard.
Has there been pretty good like feedback on that, on like the new? Because these are all new monsters. They're on the attacks and things like that. You've been kind of reading it, all right?
More or less. The thing is, so. You know, in PoE leagues, sometimes it feels like the monsters do more damage than they should, and they're like, okay, I'll just play a ranged character. But the monster is actually really fast. I don't know if playing a ranged character is really going to help, like on a universal level here.
There you go, you found it. Yeah, it seems like some of them can actually catch you. I mean, you might be able to get a little bit of an advantage there, but maybe that's like a bit of an equalizer between ranged and melee, which is kind of always been an ongoing thing, right?
Yeah. They changed the name of all these items and the artworks, and like I pick something up and I don't know what it is. Like, whoa, is this good? I'm sure that's something that lasts like an hour, right? But
that's exciting though, right? Like
it is.
New discovery of all these items and stuff. It's like playing again for the first time, kind of. You still have a bit to fall back on. Dude, that's bouncing around, that projectile.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of the spellcasters. They die pretty quickly, so until we find a rare one, I don't think.
You've been sticking with the ground slam?
Yeah. Ground slam seems pretty good. I don't think I got any other, like, considerable other skills. I hadn't checked the vendor for a while, though, so maybe there is something there.
How's that new skill gem system going? Like, you having to add certain item types, like sticking with the armor gear to get the red sockets you need and stuff like that? Because there's, like, the socket pressure there?
It's certainly a quality of life where you don't have to like change things out. I think the pressure is generally pretty low, especially with these like prime classes. So with Marauder being like the strength avatar of the game in a way, you're just gonna use lots of red gems. So the main difference is when you're playing PoE on live right now and you're at this level, a lot of items you get don't even have sockets. Like. Yeah. It's not about them like having like, oh, 2 red, 1 blue, and 1 green. And it's like you find an item with 1 socket and it's green, even though it's a strength chest. Right. So that is certainly a problem that they solved. Now they all do something beneficial for you, at least.
They're like all 3 sockets or 2 sockets at a minimum now. And has that been like scaling up or something as you're going?
I'm not sure. Let me have a look here. Is it S, I think it was?
Yeah, S. Here you got like a 4 socket on your chest and a 3 socket. 7 link, bro. 7 sockets.
Yeah, I don't know what the scalability is. Is it going to be item level?
Yeah, I didn't quite, it wasn't quite clear on that. It seems like it, but that's probably like a ceiling, like a cap of what you can reach at certain levels, but then you can maybe increase that out. Well, like Johnathan was saying that you'd be using the jewelers to add the sockets to the gems themselves, but I don't know if it's capped by items or...
I'd say the gem is probably, the sockets for the gems is probably capped by item level.
And this is
like
that
if you have
same
like
zone,
an item level,
presumably the zone in is here somewhere.
80 gem, then you should be able to get 6 on it easy.
And get a weapon upgrade. I feel like I've been using this
weapon
like
forever. As in it's easier to get.
Upgrades. Where's my upgrades?
Get the damage, dude. Do some crafting. Surely you got some currency.
Not exactly. I have an alchemy orb though.
Yo.
The race winner.
Go on. Chuck it on a big meaty
There's a lot
axe.
of ravens here. I don't know if you're seeing that.
Yeah.
Those are not like monsters. Those are just like ambient.
Yeah, there's like a ton more wildlife around. So like there's like a whole flock of them there.
Yeah.
So it looks like there's like 4 exits on this zone.
Well, I think I actually missed the entry point.
I'll be right back. Restroom.
New character screen as well.
Yeah.
All new character info there.
Just a second here so I don't die. You can kind of see what I'm talking about though. Like if you're a ranged character there, you still have to take that hit.
Yeah, they're rushing you. You might have to start kind of like, the way we play Path of Exile now is we tend to like kill everything behind us. If we like, if you're racing, leveling,
run through.
You might have to kill stuff in front of you a bit more, like not get surrounded so much.
I'm doing that a little bit.
Maybe going back to you putting your spork totems in the doorways to feel out the damage.
I don't know if it'll be that extreme.
Not gonna go that far.
I think this dude is the one that they highlighted in the demo playthrough, but I think they just had complete one of the areas for the demo. I've also noticed quite a striking parallel between this content and what they have currently on live with the campaign.
Yeah, well, that's what Johnathan was saying. Like, Act 1 is supposed to be quite reminiscent of the current campaign, but then from that point onwards, it diverges a lot. And yeah, like, you were in town earlier, and I haven't seen this, I haven't played this yet, and it looks a lot like Line Eyes Watch. It seems quite familiar. At the same time, everything looks really different, especially all your items and everything. It looks so different. I've no idea what you're using. It's like a stone axe.
Let's re-roll our Iron Ring. Here we go. Rip currency. Amazing.
Hey, damage. It's an upgrade, bro. Sweet. Sweet as, bro.
Hoping for the gigantic numbers on the weapon type of upgrade over this, though. But yes. I'm starting to stockpile a reasonable currency.
So the sockets on the items now seem to denote like the amount of socket groups that item will have. So you get one socket group off of gloves. And I guess it's green themed is the idea there. That's pretty wild, the new system.
Yeah, I wasn't quite able to keep up with all the stuff that you and Johnathan talked about, and I think you got some insight while I was playing by myself here. So how does it work if you want to use like a dexterity chest, for example, but you want like all the red sockets for whatever you're doing with your character? So how does that work out? Do you know?
That's what I'm not quite clear on. That's the one thing I still haven't quite figured out is like how that coloring system works. Have you found chromatic orbs or anything like that?
Not yet, I don't think.
Because you start finding like chromes and jewelers pretty early in the current game, but yeah, I don't see any in your inventory. So you haven't really found any way to change those socket systems. So maybe it's the case that in the early game now, the idea is you're going to be kind of using more typed gear, and then later on you can maybe start to mix it up a little bit
helmet, by the way. Looks good.
It's pretty sick. The armor looks way better.
It does look way better.
And the shoulder pads like kind of moving around, like there's physics in that.
Yeah.
Like
yeah, I didn't know how long this is gonna go. I wonder when they're gonna actually get to
that's one of the bosses. Okay.
Maybe in 20 minutes.
She's definitely an optional boss, so I guess.
Yeah, it looks like a zone unique.
The stun mechanic seems very strong, I would say.
Yeah, well, your ground slam's got like the extra stun and stuff, and I think we're using heavy strike too. So it's been pretty strong since recent reworks.
I want to aug this thing. Spell damage. It's exactly what I was looking for, actually.
Sick spell damage. So you got all the bits, the corpses now. This is, I think, what they showed in Johnathan's demonstration of it.
No, I want a level, dude. Like,
come on. No, do it now.
No.
What?
It says 99%.
Attack him now, you coward.
I'm a coward right now.
Come on.
No, the monsters that are like the bosses, they're like super serious so far.
It looks like night and day compared to early game bosses in current PoE. So this is the new town, right? I haven't seen it really yet. Looks sick.
I don't really know what to do with my points. I should probably get Warrior's Blood.
Like passive tree display stuff looks a little different, but
does it?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're
like
yellow now.
Tooltips and that.
For the
look a little
notables.
different now.
Oh yeah, that's.
They look more like items.
Perhaps true.
Yeah. So I guess they're like they said we're not doing anything with the passive tree yet, but this looks like they're starting to do a bit. Maybe just UI changes.
Perhaps. Some nice stats on that belt, but I do like my fizz damage.
Yeah, all damage. I think it might be time to get a new weapon and craft it up.
I'm gonna try. I'm just not entirely optimistic about doing this. Okay, fine. Oh, and I need new flasks.
How's the clearing?
That's probably a big
Still
deal.
rocking some baby flasks.
So, the one thing I've seen is the items are radically different. So this Scythe of the Brute here, 5 to 30 damage, 1.45 attacks per second.
Right.
So it's super fast and super high range of damage. It's kind of what you'd imagine a Scythe doing.
Yeah, it's like either you're gonna lob a limb off or you're gonna kind of whiff it a bit. What about like compared to the axes down the bottom there? Because they look kind of meaty but much slower, I imagine. Well,
Broadaxe.
They're pretty fast but more consistent damage.
Mm-hmm.
Weird.
It's a lot of damage. My axe is terrible. It's a level 6 item.
You got good rolls on it, but it looks like it's falling down a little bit.
I kind of like these Warhammers.
Guess
But what would I do? Like use 2 Warhammers for ground slam? I'm not sure. Equip a shield.
Go.
13 to 21.
Gonna go for a shield. You're really scared of this upcoming boss. I mean, that tower shield looks pretty sick.
I'm just looking at the studded maul. Why would I use that 2-hander as opposed to the Warhammer? I wouldn't really.
Go on, dual wield.
Okay. Let's use that recipe. What is the recipe again? It's like those 3 things, right? Or does it need to be magical?
The belt needs to be, well, rare ideally.
We can't afford that right now.
Okay, all right.
Oh, come on. That's pretty sick.
I mean, that's all right. I thought you might have just thrown your alk on there first, maybe. What are you saving this alk for? Like, you're going to bank it
one,
and
we're
trade
dual
with the
wielding
later?
these bad boys.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, that was okay.
Dual wield ground slam.
How's the clearing?
All right.
Here we go. We got the dual wield now.
Can make that work.
I'm guessing since it looks like the new skills they showed off were mostly like the bow stuff, because I think they have 3.9 going for the bow theme.
Oh my gosh, 3.9 is going to be awesome.
Kind of like new melee stuff.
I got to do bow builds. I love bow builds.
I must be a bit higher level, I imagine.
I guess so. I've not seen it, no.
I haven't run into any of that yet. Hey, flask upgrades.
Just keep one of the mediums. Get rid of the rest here.
I'd be up there with you. Not for the scrap.
Oh, no hidden gift in the stash.
Oh, you're going to get another
Some
large.
packed items in the stash.
All
right, here we go. Give us the fight.
So we do some respectable damage.
I want to see that.
Why can't I leap slam? Leap slam's 2-handed or something?
No. So, mace, scepter, sword, or staff? Did you change your sockets around because now you're using 2 one-handers? So the socket skill menu probably has changed a bit.
No, it's in a red.
Skin, leap slam, heavy strike, ground slam. No, not too sure.
I mean, it's
Oh wait, no, it
no,
resocketed it.
I just
okay.
I just had to bring it up.
It resocketed it. Okay, so that's
teething issues with the like transition over there.
Yeah, that was probably a bug.
I'm gonna take a hit. I'm feeling pretty confident about this.
Show us the slams. It's a meaty slam.
Okay, maybe not that one.
It looks like it slows you more than anything.
Yeah. No, I'm definitely pretty over leveled for this, and the re-gear is gonna help a bit here. So.
Yeah, you're crushing it now. Dude, the slams of that boss look so impactful. I love it.
We're going FPS mode.
Looks scary.
Do it. That slow is gnarly.
It's a crazy slow for sure.
This is kind of fun.
Playing in FPS mode.
But, like, this could pass off as an MMO right now. My character.
Compare this to, like, current Val Act 2 boss. And this is just a random side quest, right?
Not everything is side quest. I think this is primary quest.
Ah, okay.
Fist pike.
I would do the same for anyone.
Well done. Woo! Woo!
Oh, dude. It's like they updated the voice.
I think I have a waypoint a little bit further up. Yeah, I have the hunting grounds one, but let's see what.
I mean,
what
I
we
guess
get
these
for rewards.
technically are
Incoming,
different
like weapon
characters.
reward here, right? Ooh, added fire.
It feels like you have so many more support gem slots available so early on now. Like you could spam some gems on a few different skills if you wanted to.
I think that's exactly what we want to. I just want to see what other gems there may be, because maybe we can find some new skills, you know. No.
That totem up.
No, that's a negative. It's the old.
Get them
skills.
totals up. Totem up. Got an ancestral call there. Do it. Or decoy
Holy
totem.
flame totem. Oh man, that one's been through some changes.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess added fire over ruthless to add some consistency.
If you're willing to spam some mana flask, you could throw a few damage spots on the leap slam, like what we were talking about earlier. You can kind of actually use that as a bit more of a skill now, because you're not so starved for sockets.
Well, we can try it.
It's actually probably one of the most awesome things is that you can just have that.
So good. And I'm watching on this like tiny weird angled screen down off the edge of the stage, but it still looks so sick.
Am I in the right place here?
It's new. I don't think you've been here. Yeah, this is the quest spot. Renly's ancestral steel at his old smithy. Yeah, this is very like reminiscent of something.
I like
this
my
is really
dual
cool.
war hammers much faster.
Seems much snappier. How is the? I mean, like the animations and everything look really good. How, does it feel much different to like what you remember since you've like played PoE last?
It feels pretty good, but I'm playing with most of my controls being different. When I'm having to like stretch out and play with like enhanced pointer precision, by the way.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah, that's a bit of a yikes.
So it's not quite the familiar setups.
No,
it's a bit harder to judge.
no. I'm certainly a person that really builds on habits, and it's very difficult for me to play with different keybinds.
It is an interesting
like
point
normally
though.
I play
Like
with standstill of spacebar.
anything that I move with
having
left
to do it
click,
shift
I
is
try to
very
make
weird,
like
even though that's what
PoE.
everyone else uses.
Anything I move with the right click, I try to pretty much do like
But that's that's kind of how it is.
League
Shift's
of
awful.
Legends.
I'm with you on that. I don't use shift.
I mean,
I use shift for the alternate bar
I think
actually.
it's one of those preference things. You can certainly use shift just
No,
fine.
it's objectively awful.
Is it?
You got some like tight little.
Is there like a research paper on this? If not, there probably should be.
I mean, it's got to be bad for the old fingers, I swear. You got some like real narrow kind of winding areas here amongst these burning buildings. What is this, like an old village that's been put to the torch or something?
I guess so. Again, I kind of skipped the quest text. That's something I can do at home.
Yeah, fair enough.
I'll read up on the quest text from someone else's playthrough. I'm gonna just go through the game here the best I can.
Yeah, it looks like you're heading towards an old blacksmith to find ancestral steel. I see they're trying to flex the new lighting in this zone here with all the fires kind of like
I mean, it
shining
looks pretty
some light
good.
out. It does. They're flexing a bit on this one.
Some werewolf dudes on this one. But yeah, the graphics are really like crazy. I mean, look at that. And this is just like some random thing that you don't think twice and just run past, right?
Yeah, that's the thing. We move so fast all of the time in these games, in action RPGs in general. But like the detail here is insane. Like the reflection on all the little puddles and stuff looks gnarly, crazy.
Yeah, it's the ray tracing that they were talking about.
Reflected in the puddles. It seems like all of these monsters are new too. I don't think I've seen any monsters that seem familiar. Like you're not fighting.
I
some
noticed
skeletons and
zombies and skeletons.
Yeah.
But yeah, they seem to have a bit of flavor on top of that. Did I pass the zone?
Well, you did fight a Devourer earlier. That was when we couldn't see because we're all the way over here.
So, looking at the
like
map
a
and
boss
stuff,
Devourer you were
I
fighting
feel like
this
there's the
is the
tree,
quest.
there's the
Search for the
graveyard, and
manor
there's the
beyond the
manor.
village.
So I wonder if the
So
random
this
is
we're
like
gonna get our waypoint.
your village is
5
up
minutes.
here,
Oh,
trees
yeah,
over
like
here,
3.5 now.
manor. You know, like they have objects
Smash
and
it,
they
come on.
piece them in.
Oh, shortcut.
That's probably how they make everything
See,
random.
leap slam, like your character has
That
like
would be
this,
the only
I don't know how to say it, like a
shuffling that I can
moving
think of.
fast
That
trail.
it's random.
Yeah.
Oh, the speed lines, like
Yeah,
anime
the speed lines. There you go. That's a better way of putting it.
So you know you're getting really speedy. Are these things covered in like blood pustules or something?
Probably gonna blow up, right? Alright.
They look like banelings.
AFK mode. Let's see what happens.
I think they interacted with the other, like there was a larger creature.
Okay, fine. Let's move through and see if we can find something else then.
Yeah. I want to see you get to this next boss. There's got to be something spicy in here.
I think after we got a little bit geared up on the last one, that boss was significantly easier than.
Oh man, actually looking at some of these
previous
enemies, they look actually kind of
You
terrifying.
just did polished up all the gear, got some new weapons, actually spent your alch instead of hoarding it. It's much darker in here. Like there's areas where I don't know if it's like just the monitor I'm seeing on here, but I almost can't see anything in the dark sections there. There's not like a kind of a level amount of lighting across the stage. It's like actual dark there.
I'm sorry to bore chat, but I just got another hit point node, so it's actually gonna be pretty easy now. There's a chiming staff. Interesting.
Running in circles. We don't have time for this.
No, they designed it this way, okay? It's not my fault.
I'm gonna get so lost in this. It's like I'm the same as you. Like it's all muscle memory.
I watch
all the
like,
zones.
This guy just doesn't know how to navigate the map. And they're probably right, because I think it's this like staircase thing down there I was supposed to take to begin with, rather than having to go in circles. But you never know.
Not to pressure you, but you got like 2 minutes, and we want to see some content before we get kicked off stage.
Yeah, that's content for you. Look at that.
Woo! Cool.
An insane amount of fairly needless detail everywhere.
That's kind of the thing, isn't it? Like, we don't need a lot of the detail in this stuff, but it's sick.
This dude has like no hit points though. I'm just like
he's made of candles.
Destroying him.
And Kripp ruined it. Could have let him show off some cool skills or something.
Oh yeah, I could have done that, I guess.
That's funny.
So what did you actually get in there? Was that the steel stuff for the blacksmith?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, Renly the blacksmith. He's going to imbue an item for you now. Right? That's how it works?
Well, he keeps sending me to do stuff, so I'm not sure. I don't think we're quite done with him. Iron Manor. I was at the Iron Manor. The Iron Count. No, I think that was
Dude,
very
I
much
want
a
to play
mini
this
boss.
now.
Yeah, that looked like it was just it was pretty small.
We gotta go to the Iron Count.
I really hope this
that
doesn't
is.
discourage me from 3.9 and all the cool bow stuff they're gonna do.
Okay. I think this is the end of our time here though, but maybe I'll find the dude.
We've got 1 minute, Kripp. This is your first time playing it here. This like relatively decent length session. What are you feeling overall?
The game feels and looks quite a bit better. I think a lot of us, I think, play for the gameplay, but this is a really nice cherry on top. And I know a lot of people haven't tried PoE very seriously because of the grittiness and because it's pretty full-fledged in the past.
Yeah.
But they've managed to keep it and really up the graphic quality considerably. I
Yeah,
think
they have.
a lot of people who didn't end up taking PoE too seriously are going to give it a second chance. And I'm really curious to see, because for me, you know, grinding gear, it's not really just another company. PoE is not just another game. It's one of those games where you root for its success.
Yeah, definitely.
So
I feel you.
It feels good to see these type of improvements. It's encouraging to see that more people will very likely check out this type of game.
Nice. Thank you very much for giving me a demonstration, Kripp. We're being shooed off the stage now, so you have to stop playing.
The cane is coming to drag us off.
Just go close the laptop. Good snap.
But no, we have to find the guy. Look, there's another door.
Quick,
I'm going. It's stairs.
Stairs. And fade right down.
No, they haven't kicked us out yet.
I can still hear the audio.
Lip slamming. Oh no, that's a dead end. Okay.
He's baiting you. Just cut it. Just cut the stream. Just cut the stream.
I don't know how many levels